Meltdowns have ensued on social media over the past couple of days. All of these different AI redesigns have really upset the sensitive snowflakes, and it's continued to happen. They've continued to fall for the bait, and a lot of gamers are saying if companies did this, they would be making way more money. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, over the years, we have seen developers intentionally masculinize characters and intentionally alter their designs to be less attractive. They don't want female characters to appeal to the male gaze, but yet they're perfectly fine with showing shirtless, hunky, masculine men to, I suppose, be eye candy for the women. And listen, I think that it's fine to have hunky masculine men, but I also think that we should have gorgeous, feminine looking females as well. I don't think that that's a problem. And as a woman myself, I think it is way more empowering to see beautiful women in entertainment. I don't want to see a 600-pound land whale be flying around as Superman, just like I don't want an 8-foot tall, buff, deep-voiced, manly woman to be the only type of female character we see in our entertainment. It is okay to have characters that are not supposed to be 10 out of 10 bombshells, but we are talking about characters that, yes, are typically supposed to be like the peak of humanity, right? You expect them to look a certain way and you expect them to be cool while doing so. And over the years, we have seen a lot of developers intentionally masculinize female characters because they don't want men to enjoy these characters anymore. They get offended that men find women attractive, even though that's insane. And we've seen beautiful actresses play parts like in Star Wars Outlaws, for example, and they completely butcher the way that the character looks. And so if it can take 2 seconds to redesign a character with AI and it gets a lot of attention and we see how gamers react, and generally it's overwhelmingly positive, and there's a few snowflakes that complain, maybe one day companies will change their minds, but at least for now, we're seeing how soft these individuals are that are complaining. Here's one of the images that's circulating around. 3.7 million views. Modern gaming companies hate attractive women. They do this shit on purpose. It would be so easy to fix. And yes, this is a legitimate K-Vess image from the game. It's not edited at all to make her look even worse, but we are talking about a game that had an absolutely gorgeous actress who was supposed to be put into the title, but we are talking about modders fixing her face and making her look 1,000 times more accurate. Again, this is the way that she looks in real life. Humberly Gonzalez is very pretty, and here is the fan-edited version that is now up on sites like Nexus Mods, and she looks phenomenal. They could have put this model in their game, but instead they put this one? Yeah, you are insane if you think that this isn't being done intentionally. And I do understand, right? Sometimes character models don't hit the mark. Sometimes they look a little bit wonky, but it shouldn't be that hard for developers to fix, especially games that are delayed and games that have hundreds of millions of dollars put into them. Don't forget, this had the largest marketing budget ever for a Ubisoft game, and it completely underperformed. And it was buggy, it was broken, it had issues. K-Vess wasn't the only problem, but man, oh man, I definitely think that it would have gotten a little bit more in terms of sales and positive attention if they actually put this model right here into their game. And it's hilarious that modders do a way better job. This is why fans should be hired instead of activists. The AI post has tons of comments on it, and there are some people saying, oh my gosh, this is disgusting. Bait used to be believable. Damn, we've reached a time where men aren't ashamed of jerking off to pixels. Just because you want a pretty or handsome character in your game doesn't mean you want to jerk it to that character. It means that you actually want characters to look cool and, yes, look appealing. That shouldn't be some evil or negative thing, but it's funny to see how pathetic these people really are. They are freaking out over a 30-second generated AI image, and they have been for really weeks at this point. There's been several that have been circulating, and it's funny to see how upset they've actually become over this. Here's another one. You've got Fable, you've got Commander Thera from Doom the Dark Ages, you've got Hazel from South of Midnight, Tosh from Veilguard, Abby, and also Atsu, and all of the designs that are on the left are pretty bad, and the ones on the right look way better. Now, sure, some of them I think are like a little bit too exaggerated. Not every single character needs to be a complete 10 out of 10. With some minor tweaks, some of these characters could look way better, but ultimately, we're talking about the right side of images really causing freakouts, because there are some people out there who are saying, no, 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 this is objectification and you're evil if you redesign a character, because they ultimately support the agenda that is going on in the video game industry right now. They support the intentional desecration of IPs, and they do support companies trying to change the ways of the gaming industry. And it's very clear at this point that the character designs they want are not major sellers, and the types of characters that the activists they're supporting are writing and designing aren't working out well for the video game industry, as a lot of companies are facing a lot of major backlash, and a lot of these titles either underperformed or faced major controversy, and the ones that haven't come out, like Fable, have already definitely had damage done to their image. On the left, it says, "This is beautiful," and on the right, "This is not beauty, is objective." And it's just so crazy to see how pissed off some of these people really are before transition, after transition. And this collage of female video game characters from different places has also gotten quite a bit of attention. The top left is Western, top right Japanese, bottom left Korean, bottom right Chinese, and 3 out of the 4 feature absolutely phenomenal character designs, great feminine looking women, cool outfits, nice hairstyles, and one is very different from the other. And listen, I'm fine with there being diversity in video games. I'm fine with there being a wide variety of different looking characters in titles, but they still need to look cool. They still need to look interesting, and this is not happening. This is the type of character you get when you are hiring activists who are ideologically captured, and they're not really game designers. They don't know how to make characters that look cool, that seem cool, that are awesome. And, well, it's not a solid strategy that's working out for them right now to put these types of characters in video games. Absolutely crazy. Can you spot the difference? On the left is the Nier/Stellar Blade collab, and on the right is the Ubisoft version, which, wow, that is a crazy difference. I am Team Korea all the way. Are Westerners trying to show us that their women are ugly? And China's currently dominating the gaming industry. Gee whiz, I wonder why. And then there's this spider. And even though this image highlights 4 completely different places, only 1 out of the 4 is struggling to stay afloat, and only 1 is struggling to sell their product. So I will definitely be keeping my eye on these collages and these AI images that have upset so many people over the past couple of days, and I think it is, of course, hilarious to highlight just how upset some of these people actually are over very simple pictures. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.